Welcome to the e-commerce leader series, the podcast dedicated to helping founders and e-commerce leaders navigate the future of online retail with AI. I'm your co-host, Bryan Kinghorn, head of growth at Luca AI. I'm joined by Eric Bidinger, my co-host and CEO and founder at Luca AI as well. Hello, Eric.
Hello, Bryan.
Thanks for being on again. And today our guest is Leon Surmann from Wallbox. Thanks very much for being here with us today, Leon. So before we dive deeper into our conversation around e-commerce, AI and e-commerce and everything that entails, do you want to give our listeners a bit of a brief introduction as to you, your background, and what your business does?
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. My name is Leon Surmann. I'm 22 years old. And from my background, I started with general online businesses when I was 15. So next to my school, I asked my parents, hey, can you please create me a PayPal account that I can make some online business? And my idea was I wanted to earn some more money in the holidays. So I grabbed all my stuff which I had at home and I found Lego, you know, the toy, which is very famous. And I take a deep look into that because then I saw that these minifigures which you have in Lego are worth very, very much. So I grabbed all the minifigures which I had and all the minifigures which were on the markets at Kleinanzeigen or any other online shops and just sold them. And this is how I earned my first pocket money. It was like 500 euro per month, but with 15 years, it was a very, very nice pocket money. And this was then driven to a new business where I started selling limited sneakers. So I created some bots with friends. We had a Discord group, and there we started selling sneakers. But after time, this was also getting bigger and bigger. More people are coming into this business. Sneaker reselling, it was kind of famous at this time. So everyone started with sneaker reselling, and this is why it was way, way more difficult in this business to make money. So we switched over, and there was a new opportunity then. We had the PlayStation 5s, which were released in 2021. And there was a huge demand on that. So we created new bots, and I bought all the PlayStation 5s off the market. So this is where it's going, where it started. Yeah.
So where is it now then? How has it progressed to your current business then, Leon?
Then I started selling the PlayStation 5s, and of course I need a platform where to sell these products. So we have chosen some online marketplace like Amazon. We have in Germany also Otto. We have Kaufland, eBay, of course. So these were the four marketplace where we were selling, and we not only had the PlayStation 5s, we created an algorithm where every nice product with a huge discount, like 30, 40, 50% discount, came to us in a message, and we just checked, okay, on the marketplaces, can we make some profit with that, or is it a non-profit deal? So this is where we started selling every random shit. We had mobile phones, we had smartwatches, we had everything. And then I came to a product which was a wallbox, a charging station for an e-car. And I took a deeper look into that product because I thought, okay, it's a huge product. Like you have a big package, of course, but I came from a very little village. My friends are all farmers, so they have a lot of space. And I thought, okay, most of the people don't have that many space. And it's a niche, like the e-mobility is going stonks right now. So I thought, okay, it's a nice niche to take a deeper look into that, to use my USP with a huge space, etc. And this is how I started selling more and more wall boxes, multi-channel on the marketplaces. So not like most of the people starting selling on their own website. I started selling on marketplaces.
Awesome. And what have you learned along that journey in regards to marketplaces versus like a traditional DTC website, as an example?
Yeah. So my biggest problem was always to gain the traffic to your own websites. It's like, of course, you can make some Google ads, Meta ads, etc. But I tried from the beginning on to get on a price compare website. In Germany, it's called Idealo, which is very famous. I think in the USA, you also have a lot of them. And this was my biggest point, which brought me forward, because I have the best prices. I always had the best prices. I buy huge amounts directly from the producer, and the producers are directly from Germany. So this is also a good point. So this is how I gain traffic directly from the beginning, because I was the cheapest one. And on the marketplaces, you always have traffic. You always have traffic. Like on Amazon, you always have traffic. On eBay, you always have traffic. On your websites, it's hard to gain traffic. So there I had to find a solution, because I didn't knew about Google Ads and all this stuff. So I started with the price compare website Idealo, and this was my first problem.
Yeah, nice.
And sorry, just building up on that. So the trade-off between selling on someone else's site versus your own, and obviously the margin leakage that you incur there. So if you think about where you want to be 3 to 5 years from now in that equation, like what's your vision there?
Yeah, that's a good point. The problem with the marketplaces is, of course, the selling fee. Amazon takes like 10 to 15% selling fee. eBay takes way less. In my niche, it's 6-7%. But of course, when I have an own marketplace, an own website, I just have the transaction fees, which are 3%, round about 3%. So I always prefer my website before the marketplace, because I have less fees. So this is also why I want to be in 5 years way less on the marketplaces and way more on my own website to gain more money, of course. And the marketplaces are always also kind of tricky because of the support. You see, for example, that in 2025, there was the biggest crisis on Amazon for the marketplace in terms of registrations of sellers. Very, very, very bad. Very, very bad. Sorry, I need to figure out how to say. In 2025, you had the lowest rate on seller registrations on Amazon. So you see that a lot of people are going from Amazon away because of the selling fees, because of the support. Because when I send products to Amazon for FBA, that means that Amazon is directly sending the packages to the customers, and I send a huge LKW, a huge transporter to Amazon, and the package, the transporter is going away. Why ever? I don't know. Amazon is saying, okay, fuck you. The luggage is gone, and you're gonna lose the money. So the support for sellers on Amazon is very bad right now, and this is why nearly all sellers try to make your own Shopify store, your own website. Yeah.
And do you think on that long arc where eventually, I mean, obviously you want to host, I mean, you want to own the customer experience, right? And have everyone just shopping directly through you. So in that long arc, if we can bring it to AI a little bit, and where do you see the introduction of AI tools helping you achieve that vision of eventually just having your products sold mostly on your website?
Yeah, like AI is very, very important already right now for me. With AI, I check all my data. For example, when I use Luca AI, I check the data, the sales volume, how my marketing campaign is running, because the data is nearly everything, right? All the big companies today are data companies. So this is very, very relevant. And I see that in special in my niche, a very boring niche, like the wallboxes, charging stations, where nearly all people are electricians. They don't have very much knowledge about data and how you're gonna process with a nice website and all this stuff. So this is how I build in USP right now. And my biggest point right now with AI is to check the data, to make product descriptions, to make the product pictures, which is so easy and in such a good quality right now. Yeah, this is how I use AI right now.
Interesting. And just building up on that, is it fair, Leon, to say that you're a solopreneur?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
How do you see the decoupling that I think we're starting to see between, for however business has existed, i.e. since civilization started, revenue and headcount went into lockstep. Some businesses were able to grow revenue much faster than headcount. That was good, but headcount still had to grow. So now, how do you see a complete decoupling between revenue and headcount because of AI tools, right? Because you have automation, because you have agents, because you're really should be able to demultiply kind of everything that you do and not outsource, but delegate that to agents. Maybe not now in February 2026, but certainly towards the end of 2026, that's clearly achievable.
Yeah, one biggest problem is the customer support. I have so many clients every day calling me, writing me per email, asking for support, asking for what wallbox is the best, just the general questions. So normally I can sit myself to the monitor, to the computer, and just ask every email and do that for the whole day. I see that an AI agent, which is completely taking over this as the perfect use for e-commerce, and in my case, definitely. So I think that I can save a lot of employees in future by AI because they can just do the work already today. It's working. Yeah.
And so in regards to right now then, so what kind of AI tools are you using day to day to help you run your business as a solopreneur?
Yeah, it's funny because yesterday I started to integrate Claude. I tried it already out, but before I just had, of course, Luca AI and ChatGPT, the pro versions. For me, it's relevant that these AIs are very good in general tasks. I don't need coding because my website is done. This is doing an ITiler. I need general tasks like answer this customer, produce a product picture, make this. So it's general tasks, and this is what I made before, always with ChatGPT. But now I'm using also Claude because I heard that Claude should be way better.
Is it Cowork that you started playing with yesterday?
Yes, yes.
It's very, very good. Let me tell you, it's excellent. But there's no but. And there's new products that are coming out on the market. So apparently Perplexity came up with computer, like what they call computer 2 days ago, which also is very good, they say. I think OpenAI is obviously going to come out with something very soon because they have the OpenClaw guy now working with them. We use Cowork as well internally. But what's interesting is you see this bifurcation between if you think about your workspace, your daily workspace, between email, calendar, and chat, and within email you have, you can send Excel spreadsheet, receive Excel spreadsheet, PDFs, etc. on the one hand, and then on the other hand you have whatever data is coming from your proprietary pipes, right? So from your Shopify store, from your Google Ads, and the two are orthogonal, right? And so you see that something like Claude Cowork is very good for the first bit. So you automate a lot of that process here, but you can't, you don't feed proprietary or confidential data to Claude Cowork, and that's where the the benefit of something like Luca AI comes in, is that it's playing in a different field, and then adding up all the capabilities that Cowork is doing in terms of automating a lot of the menial tasks that constitute your day-to-day job. That's something that's very easy for us to integrate eventually into the platform. But the hard bit is the proprietary data. It's not what's coming out at the moment. But massive fan of Cowork. It's very, very good.
Mm-hmm. What's also funny is that we are launching a new website. I think it's round about in 1 week or 2 weeks, and this website is completely built by Claude bots. The founder from Austria.
Yeah.
And my friend was doing that for me, so it's crazy how it's working already, and it's looking fantastic. So I'm very hyped for that.
Yes, 100%. I mean, it's incredible. So just as an aside, the people were talking about for 40 years, you're too young, but for 40 years, people were talking about the Turing test ever since the paper from Alan Turing came out. And the Turing test was kind of like, the threshold beyond which you knew that something was intelligent. And then LLM came out in 2022. We kind of like blew past the Turing test without even saying anything, because there wasn't a seminal moment. It was kind of like, yeah, of course, an LLM passes the Turing test, right? It's so obvious. And for the longest time, the other important discussion was around singularity. So the moment at which the AI becomes recursively improves itself so fast that you reach escape velocity, and suddenly these things become super intelligent and takes over the world. I think we're already there. So Anthropic is using Claude to improve Claude. OpenAI is using, whatever latest model to improve the latest model. Internally, we use Luca to improve Luca. I mean, it's fascinating to be able to see how, because it has all the context that it needs, and you tell the system, you said, well, look, this use case is not done very well, go back to the code base and then figure out how to improve it. And it comes up with 10 suggestions on how to improve itself. And it's fascinating. And so building up on this OpenClaw stuff and the website, I mean, it just really builds on itself. This is your V1 of the website. Then you're going to feed it again the website, and you say, actually, this is what happened with the traffic. When we look at it, it's going to suggest improvements, and then the website is going to be improved. It's fascinating times ahead.
100%. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
And so do you use you mentioned obviously one of the reasons that you're on marketplaces is because you don't have to do as many advertising and things like that. But are you doing any ad spend in marketplaces at all, or how do you how do you approach that? And are you using any tools to help you, decide how much budget to put against ad spending?
Yeah. So right now, I don't do any ad spends on marketplaces directly, but this is really up to the products you're going to sell. I have a product which is known in Germany. It is a huge brand, so the people buy it always. They go to the marketplace, they search for it, and they buy it. When you have your own brand, complete new product, of course you have to make some ad spends on marketplaces. So that's the difference.
Yeah. And what about like inventory planning? So planning how much stock to have. How do you approach that?
Yeah. So right now we have a program where we would just put in the numbers like what we have in stock, and when we are nearly sold out, we just order more. So it's very basic, very easy, but that's a good point which you can optimize with AI, I think. So for future, I think that this will be a point that we gain, like automatically a message, okay, you're running out here, feel free to prepare a new order, because the order also takes like 1 week or something like that. So yeah, that's a good point.
Nice. And any thing that you've come across, like any AI tool you've came across recently that you are a bit unsure of or have concerns about, or are you just willing to give things a try?
I'm really open-minded for everything. So we are also trying to use, is it called N8N? Yeah. We are also trying this right now to implement for the automation for emails and all the stuff which I told. So I'm really open-minded. But regarding Claude bots, of course you have to give him access to your Gmail and calendar. I'm not the first person who will do that, so I will take a look on that, how it's going, and
you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. You shouldn't be the first person, and you shouldn't be the 100th person, or even the 10,000th person. I mean, it's pretty scary what it can do.
Do you want to expand on that, Eric? Actually, just like to be cautious about what you're actually putting into some of these tools.
So you're giving the keys to the castle, right? To something that not only are you giving the keys to the castle, but you're giving the map to the castle as well. And then there's no supervisors, and you're telling the system, feel free to roam around and do whatever you want. Like literally, that's what, like the OpenClaw writes its own code to be able to perform tasks that weren't prescriptively designed for it. So for example, if you're asking OpenClaw to, on a specific use case, for you, Leon, to answer a potential client complaint by calling the client and speaking to the client, and OpenClaw doesn't know how to speak, it will go out and learn how to speak. And then it will create an account with 11 Lab, and it will be able to just draft an answer in real time and then go from text to voice, because it has learned how to do that, and you will be able to speak to your client on the phone. So that's how powerful it is, but like everything that's powerful, it's very dangerous as well. So what was it, that story about the head of AI safety at Meta that had her inbox almost deleted, her entire inbox almost deleted by OpenClaw like 2 days ago? So even someone like this, who presumably is quite well versed in safety and security, almost got tricked by the system. So yeah, we should be advice is to be very, very careful with those things, unless you really know what you're doing.
One thing which I really want to let know all the listeners and everyone who's listening here is that I really have the power right now to optimize everything with AI. AI is the tool to optimize nearly everything. So what I'm gonna do right now is searching for really boring, old, niche things like electricians, wall boxes, every pieces and products like this, and just bring it up to date. Make a newer website, make different marketing, and this by using AI. And you get all the data. Data is so important. So this is what I'm going to do right now. And this is why I have success with my wallbox shop, because I have a product which can sell everyone and which is selling everyone. But I am different because I have the data. So I make better marketing. I have AI. I have a better website, which is in this current market very important. And this is how I profit from it.
That's great. Yeah. Sorry, Bryan, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you've clearly obviously had that entrepreneurial spirit running through you since you were a kid. You know, you said you started selling things at 15. So what's your plans for the current business? Any future plans? Like, do you want to give us an insight as to what you're hoping to achieve over the next 5-10 years?
Yeah, I'm always trying some new things. Eric knows already, I had a perfume store, also an online shop. I have this wallbox shop right now for 2 years. It's running very good. I will keep that shop. I will up to date it. And my next big thing will be a marketplace for perfume. So now I combine my experience from all the marketplaces. I had a perfume store where I saw some problems, and this is how I'm going to combine it right now to a marketplace for perfume. This will be a huge project. I hope you will hear about that in 1-2 years. But with AI right now, it's running very, very fast and very good. That's a good point. And this will be the next thing for me.
I hope you can come back on the podcast before 2 years, but for sure in 2 years' time, you'll come back on the podcast to talk about that.
Of course, yeah. This will be a very interesting thing, yeah.
Once it's a huge success, yeah, we'll look forward to hearing and seeing all about it.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much, Leon.
Thank you for having me.